quick heads up before we get into today's video. If you're in the planning stage of your off-grid build, one of the hardest parts is coordinating the components and reducing the risk of over-engineering or undersizing your system. I've made this super easy for you. Check out my Solar Sizer Pro at themusingmoose.com. Simply punch in your daily energy use, your peak power usage, your location, your preferred system voltage, battery type, panel wattage, and days of autonomy required. It will then help you determine the size of your solar array required, your battery bank capacities, inverter, charge controller, and fuse breaker sizings. On the next page, add the system voltage from your previous page, your expected current, which will be the breaking current of your protection, and the length of your cable runs. This will then give you your cable size required and the allowable voltage drops. If you find this useful, let me know in the comments. Now back to the video.
I'm going to show you a very simple way to replace all the electronics, to retrofit a completely new electronic setup into it, one that will never fail again. So stick with me and I'll show you exactly what the steps are to repair your broken camping fridge. This fridge came to me in a completely non-working state. No power on 12 volt, no power on 240. Aside from that, it's in very good condition. Here's a list of the parts we'll need to completely replace all the existing components.
A little bit difficult to see with all the wires in place. This relay here is unnecessary. I've just left it there because I was going to do something different, but I've changed my mind, so it's still there. It's either the AC wires coming in from the plug, they go to the multi-tap transformer using the 18 volt side and the 15 volt side, and the common 0 volts on the transformer, so both the 18 and the 15 are commoned up to the 0 volts. The 15 volts is out to the regulator rectifier, the step down rectifier, which then rectifies the voltage to 12 volts, which feeds the controller. and then that controller gauges the temperature and switches the 12 volt back to switch these two relays. That same 15 volts also feeds the common side of the compressor relay. So when that relay is switched on by the temperature controller, it feeds the compressor. They're a swing motor compressor. They can take variable voltages. In this case it ends up with around 17 volts. The 18 volt side, that feeds the AC to DC rectifier here, and that's rectified to through the other fan relay, which is then switched to the fan. So essentially we're only using two voltages, the compressor voltage and the fan voltage, and they're switched through two separate relays being switched by the same temperature controller. So those relays are paralleled up, and all the negatives common back to feed the same DC negative before it's rectified, or if it's AC voltage, then it just goes straight to the 0 volts on the multi-tap transformer. I know that looks complicated, but it's not. There's only a couple of functions there going on. It's just a lot of these wires are parallel back and forth. So there you go.
The only drawback with this type of repair is that it only accepts 240 volts in, but that's no big deal. I just keep this little wee inverter stowed away with the fridge, and when I want to use it in the car I just plug it in the cigarette lighter via this inverter. Works just dandy. Thanks for watching. If you feel that this has been at least slightly helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Thanks very much, and see you next time.